Hello, everybody. It is your hostess, Madam Hellfire, and we are back once again to finish the SRD receipt chain. We start with SRD05, and the password hint is location of a wolf's pang. It can be found in SRD03. I actually remember a reference to a place in that receipt. I believe I have it right. It's the Elkian Ruins. And of course I do. So this was written by employee number 17, October 1995, and it says, I had a talk with the actuaries, and we've come to an understanding. The twins' involvement in the cafe remains mostly obscured, but 44 has been cleared to travel to the cradle with me. In fact, we are in transit as I type this. Though you might have noticed this receipt does not pertain to Mr. Walker, it pertains to our sinister Mrs. Aka. I've been following the Red Man's trail for weeks, trying to track down the source of his newly red-eyed victims. I finally received a tip from one of the sources. Deja vu, no? Every time I leave LA, it seems like I finally make a breakthrough. In any case, my source has linked the Redmen's recent spree of games to Wilson High, coincidentally 35, 44, and 1313's school. One has to wonder if the Red Man is trying to target the kids directly. If so, it would seem that Padre is making some dangerous moves. And then again, it could just be a coincidence. Teenagers are the easiest population to trick into playing demonic games, not to mention a good portion of the Wilson High student body already sports bloodshot eyes most of the time, if you catch my drift. It could be a convenient cover for whatever sinister plan the Red Man is forming. From what my source was able to ascertain, the games are all linked to one student in particular, Xavier Vargas, a senior and a bit of a loner. I would normally follow up on this myself, but as he is a peer of 3 of our own employees, they may be better suited to the task. That, and we'll be landing in the Bay Area shortly, which leaves the task in the hands of 35 and 1313. I trust they will be able to find some additional information on Xavier's dealings with the Red Man. Per usual, I'll also keep an eye and ear out for any other connections. I like that this is being tied in. It's kind of like an area besides the cafe in which people that are associated with the cafe or work for the cafe are known to be at is being targeted by Padre. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's intentional. Alright, we've got SRD06, and it's from 1313 on October 21st, 1995, and it says, Xavier Vargas? Seriously? Ew. I can't believe that creep would stoop so low as to work with Mrs. Aka. Actually, no, I totally can see Xavier working with Mrs. Aka. Ugh, he's one of my exes. We dated for like a month over the summer, and he's a gross, creepy, manipulative dork. I don't even know what I saw in him, to be honest. I guess I thought he was kind of dark and mysterious, but then I found out that he's a socially inept dork who's way too into the occult. How did he even get in with Aka in the first place? When we were dating, I never saw any signs that he actually knew anything about coffee or whatever. He's just like drinking it to look mature and cool. That being said, he's dangerous. He's like the Lord of the Dorks, and if he tells them to play Mrs. Aka's silly little game, they will. No, they already have, haven't they? I knew I recognized that one guy who was lurking around the cafe earlier. He was totally one of Xavier's weird little nerds who play Shadow Story in the art room after school. I'm going to put a stop to this. His little pals are weird, but they don't deserve to be manipulated by Xavier or Mrs. Aka. Also, he needs a serious ego check. I would march over to his house and force him to stop right now, but that's probably not the best idea, is it? Me and Red will do some recon and keep a close eye on him next week at school. We'll also figure out some way to cancel his after-school club to try and keep the rest of his dorks safe. Guess we can shut down the art room. I'll see if 53 has any ideas on how we could do that. He's got a good brain for that kind of stuff. Oh, the plot thickens. It's not just the school that some of the employees go to. One of the people that's in on it is their ex. Ooh, yikes. Next, we've got SRD07, and our password hint is closed due to number 53, which can be found in SRD06. If you remember, we're told that they want to close down the art room, so I'm sure that's the answer. Indeed. Okay, this one is also from 1313, 10/23, 1995. Me and Red can confirm that Creep Xavier is definitely the one luring all the little dorks to play Alka's games. From what we could tell, about 6 out of the 11 members of his after-school Shadow Story Club have red eyes. 3 of those 6 haven't been to school since last week due to a very bad case of pink eye. The 3 who did come to school are basically walking husks. Hopefully, with the kiln exploding due to someone soaking all the pottery before it was exposed to be fired, whoops, the art room will be off limits long enough for us to put a stop to Xavier and Aka. Rumor from the grapevine is that Shadow Story Club has been canceled for the week. Still, it's pretty concerning that Xavier and Aka are targeting teens. The good news is that it doesn't seem like they're getting away with it. Apparently, loads of parents have started getting up in arms about Shadow Story Club due to moral concerns over Satanism. And I mean, are they that wrong? There's a chance that Shadow Story Club won't come back once the art room is cleaned up and the new kiln is installed. Though, knowing Xavier, that won't stop him from being King Dork. He'll just move the game to his house or like an alleyway or something weird. We'll keep an eye on the remaining members of Xavier's club, and we'll do our best to keep them busy and away from him until we can find a more permanent way of stopping Xavier and Mrs. Akka. I would be worried about the school population at large, but let's face it, most people can't stand to be around Xavier long enough for him to convince him to play Akka's game. He's hardly what I would call charismatic once you get past his edgy veneer. I really don't know what I saw in that loser. He did have a car though. God, she's so vain. It's so funny. I love that this does come off like a teenager 100%. Now we have one more receipt, and that is SRD08. Password hint is King Dork. Who's working with Akka? Xavier Vargas. Too easy. Now this one is also from 1313 on the 28th of October 1995. Start of transmission. My, if it isn't 1313. I knew you'd come crawling back eventually. Shut up, loser. Such vitriol, my pet, though I would expect nothing less from you. Ugh, can you stop being a creep for 1 second? I came here because you're messing around with some serious crap, and you need to cut it out now. Oh? Whatever do you mean, 1313? I know you've been messing around with the Red Man. Red Man? Don't play stupid with me, Xavier. The Red Man. He's a demon who plays games with humans. I like playing games, 1313. These aren't games that can be won. Ha ha ha. That's what you would think. You were constantly underestimating me. You have no idea the power the Red Man has given me. You're not thinking clearly. The Red Man is using you. No, 1313. You don't understand. The Red Man has shown me a new path. A path of power and strength. I won. I beat his game, and now he's mine. I control him. You can't be serious. Why would you use him to hurt your friends? They'll be fine. But I had to get your attention somehow. And the Red Man said if I let him play a game with some of my friends, it wouldn't take you long to trace it back to me. That's insane. But it worked, didn't it? Here you are, back at my feet. And if you want me to have the Red Man lift his curse, all you have to do is take me back. Dream on. Clearly, you need to be persuaded. Everyone does. Xavier snapped his fingers, and behind him appeared Mrs. Akka. You would think booking a reservation would be easier. Between 71's wards and 17's connection to Iris, it's truly been a pain. In any case, it's a pleasure to meet you, 1313. Xavier's told me so much about you. You did all of this just to book a reservation? Oh no. No. It was just convenient that some of the owner's employees also went to school here. Redmond, make her mine. No. You have to listen to me. I beat your game. You did not. But you were wrong. Mrs. Akka clenched his fist. As he pulled his fist to the ground, Xavier fell, pulled by his eyes. Behind him, a paper doll appeared, half burnt. It ignited and Xavier died. Xavier, why would you do that? He summoned me. He played my game and lost. It's a shame, it really is. All the rock and roll and demonic games, it's really starting to corrupt the youth, I fear. How could you? Are you really going to lecture a demon on killing humans? That's cute. Be thankful the merciful Padre Santos stays my hand, though. That can change. Xavier. End of transmission. Oh, that got dark really quick. This was a big game by Padre and Mrs. Akka to get 1313's attention. I want to know what happens after this, but this is the last receipt in this receipt chain. But it doesn't say it's closed out, so I'm curious if there's something that isn't here anymore that used to be. In any case, we have another receipt chain next week, and I am excited to get into it with you all. But until then, sweet nightmares. I just wanted to take the time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so appreciated. If you are not a channel member or Patreon and you would like to become one, there's a link in the description below. All channel members and Patreons receive 24 hours early access to all content posted on both of my channels. And all Patreons or channel members of the $10 Hellhound tier can request one horror-related video or stream topic, or one horror-related game that I play on my live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the content that I make.